This is the first episode of Freeze Drying with CP. In today's show, we're going to be making 25-year shelf life tacos in a bag. So let's get to it.
So we were debating about what is going to be the first meal that we show off in here.
Big debate.
Big debate. I've done, breakfast skillet before. I've done a few other things, but we kind of settled on tacos in a bag, essentially, right?
Yeah.
So, who's not going to want tacos in a bag when Justin Trudeau is beating on the bunker in 25 years, begging to get in because all he's eaten is bugs for the last 10 years? So, tell me what we got going on here. I mean, this is going to be cuisine, and all of this, the cool thing is we're going to take all of this and we're going to make it so it's going to last 25 years and it's going to taste the same texture, same nutrients. So what do we got going on here today?
Well, we got our beans that I rehydrated last night in preparation of the video. I rehydrated them with beef bouillon because it's at its driest form. And whatever you put in, it's gonna taste like it. So I did that last night, and we got our ground beef that I did today. Chicken, cheese, onion, jalapeno, corn, tomato, and our rice.
So this is tomatoes?
Yeah.
Nice.
They're a bit juicy, so we'll see how they do.
What kind of rice do we got going on here?
Well, I wanted like a more flavorful rice than just plain white, so I did a Mexican inspired.
I mean, we have the whole spectrum of micro and macronutrients. We got our proteins, we got our carbs. We even got our Doritos. Now, you don't have to use Doritos, and no, they did not pay to be in this video, but we're gonna actually freeze dry the Doritos because they do, they probably have a little bit of moisture in them, probably not that much. They also have a bit of fat in them, so I'm actually a little worried about how they're gonna freeze dry. But I figure if we can take out most of the moisture, maybe we can get those chips to last 25 years without tasting too stale and moldy. I'm pretty sure they won't get moldy in this bag over 25 years.
But they'll get stale.
They'll get stale. And I mean, I can handle stale as long as I don't die from eating it, right?
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna be like, oh, you're gonna eat Doritos, you're gonna die from...
Red 40, stop!
You can have one Dorito in a bag meal in the apocalypse. It's not gonna kill you, okay?
There's worse things that can.
Absolutely. If you guys never had tacos in a bag, you're missing out on life. I gotta say, I love Mexicans, okay? That's where this talk is going. The Mexicans have the best food on earth. Now that I've slaved away at making this food all day,
I know, you worked so hard.
I guess I'll put you to work for once. So we got 7 trays. This is an extra large freeze dryer. So this is the biggest one you can get. And honestly, if you're a prepper, you might as well go big. It's probably around twice the size of a smaller one, but you get about 2.5 times the real estate. So we got a lot of space. Now ideally, I guess we'll put the veggies on one and maybe the meats on one, and then the beans on one, and the rice on one, and then at the end of it all, we'll have all of our stuff individually freeze-dried, and then we can make individual bags, Mylar bags, that you can pour boiling water into, and then that's gonna rehydrate, then everybody can have their own meal. All right, so first things first, what should we do, what do you think?
Well, let's take this cheese right over here so I can grab you. I'm gonna grab you some onion.
Okay.
Take a look at that. Yeah.
So we could just, actually, you know what? Let's just do this for now.
Right.
I don't know why I'm doing this, because it's probably not gonna make a difference. It's really hard for me to resist the urge to have one of these Doritos right now. I've been fasting for a while, and I gotta tell you, it's not easy. Is that all the sweet potatoes?
Yeah.
Okay, we could probably put them on this side of the tray.
Orange on orange?
Orange on orange.
Okay.
If you want to create cuisine on a next level, you take your freeze-dried stuff, and when you rehydrate it with a seasoned water, and that's going to have like this infusion of taste. It's going to be marinade on a next level, okay?
Flavor Town.
In fact, I've always said, if you want to start a new restaurant and you want to have like your own unique claim to fame, freeze dry your meats and then rehydrate it in a marinade. I guarantee you, you're going to be world renowned, famous. And then you got to give me royalties. All right, so we got one out of the way. So I'm just going to put this back here because we're going to run out of space.
I'll grab you your next victims.
It's the next victims here.
Onion, the pickled jalapenos, and then let's get the bell peppers over here. Big stretch.
Nice.
There you go.
Got to get the color. I've heard that if you want to have a complete diet, you have to have things of every color. That could just be communist propaganda, I don't know.
The rainbow diet.
Yeah, the rainbow diet.
It's a lot of onion, but we'll do the whole thing.
Well, I mean, when you spread it across everything, do onions make you cry?
I was crying yesterday because I was cutting them.
I cry on a daily basis too, after hours, but not for onion's sake.
Not for onion's sake.
I will say that if we wanted to freeze dry this, like if we wanted to buy this, it would probably be 5 times the price to buy the freeze dried version of this.
Then the freeze dryer.
Yeah. Like that can of cheese is something, I don't know, 60, 70 bucks or something. Yeah. And that's basically a couple bricks of cheese. So you're paying for the energy used to freeze dry in the machine and the labor that goes into it. So we got a little bit of moisture there, but that should clear up. As long as you're not too far over, like as long as it's quite level, you don't want it too high because you run the risk of not getting all the moisture out. That's a lot of beans. I do not want to be sharing a bunker with whoever is going to be eating this Mexican dish.
I'm kicked off the island.
Okay, I think that looks pretty good. That's some good symmetry there. You shake it down. All right. Let's do the rice. And by the looks of things, we'll have more than enough space. See, I'm telling you, this freeze dryer, man, it's huge. So I was thinking about tortilla wraps, but I know Steve Syros, Wholesale Freeze Dry Foods, he actually makes a wrap and you can rehydrate it. You got to steam it. But yeah, you know, it gets soggy, possibly. Now these chicken cubes are they're perfect size, but we're gonna give them a little bit more space just to make sure they got enough room to breathe. Meat actually freeze dries the best. And so when you get a freeze dryer, one of the things you're gonna wanna freeze dry the most is meat, because meat is money nowadays. If any of you who go to the grocery store, you know what I'm talking about. I don't believe in mixing the dead carcasses of animals. I don't know why, just something that doesn't sit well with me. People getting all meat pizza, I'm like, dude, there's like 50 different animals on that thing, right?
You never had a bacon cheeseburger?
Damn, you got me there. Okay, I make an exception with bacon, okay? Bacon is the only sacrilege.
If it's on a cheeseburger.
This stuff is gonna be worth more than gold. When we freeze dry this, we're putting it in a time capsule. And so in the year 2040, well, beef will probably be illegal, but because it'll be illegal, it'll be so valuable that we'll be able to sell this freeze-dried beef for 10 times the price that it's worth right now. A freeze dryer is a great way of avoiding inflation. So it's almost like an investment. The reason why gold is sought after is because it maintains its value over time. And food would too if it didn't expire, right? So now if we're making it not expire, food is always gonna have value, right? So we have 2 things left. We could probably do the cheese and the chicken together. In this case, what I probably would do is put a napkin under the cheese, and that sometimes can absorb some of that grease. Because basically how the freeze dryer works is it freezes stuff, and then it slowly is heating it up while a vacuum pump is pulling out all the moisture. It's called sublimation. And it doesn't sublimate oils. I'm telling you, there's a lot of color on these. People are gonna start saying this is a conspiracy, a communist conspiracy. All right, so here it is. Look at that. Isn't that incredible? we're not gonna survive the apocalypse. We're gonna be too soft if we're eating like this, you know? I mean, people are out there like thumbing through the dirt looking for bugs and grubs, and here we are just living like fat cats. Look at those plebes eating their bugs out there. Let's just get these in the machine. That's what's next. Harvest Right has been around for almost 20 years, so they've really perfected freeze drying. And a lot of the issues that people had in the past were the result of the software, but now all those problems have been fixed. It's plug and play. So I'm gonna start this and it's going to cool the vacuum chamber, but we can insert this stuff now. It's not a big deal. And then it's going to do a freezing process. So right now it's pre-cooling the chamber. You can put your stuff in. It's going to freeze everything for a few hours, and then it's gonna start extracting the moisture. All right, like I was saying, one of the great things about the new technology is that the software does all the work. So it calculates using a variety of sensors how much moisture is in there. It knows when it's done, and it's gonna do all the work. So all I have to do now is just close that, wait 15 minutes. You don't have to wait. Once it's done its thing, we'll just make sure that the, what do they call it? This thing, the thing is closed, the valve. That's what you do. And you close it up, and the machine does the work. Let's come back in 48 hours and see what happens. 24 hours. Okay, so the freeze drying process is complete. We are now 1 day later. We're just going to open the drain valve. That is going to relieve the pressure. And now we're gonna be able to open this door. We're not gonna be able to open the door unless we do that. Still can't open it. We gotta give it a few more seconds. You can see the seal loosening. Now it should be done. There we go. All right. Oh yeah, everything is bone dry. Look at that. So we got some beans. We got some chips. Doritos are drier than when they went in. Okay, take a look at that. Corn, jalapenos. Got some rice. This is our salsa. Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Our beef.
Look at that.
Looks delicious. Chicken looks great.
How's the cheese?
Cheese looks great, but we're gonna need more cheese. That's why we have our can of Nutristore. And this is rice. All right.
Oh, it looks so good.
Now what we'll do is we'll put all the veggies together, and then we'll put all the meats together, and we're gonna make ourselves some taco bags, and we're gonna vacuum seal it all up, and then my favorite part, the taste test. I've been fasting for days. I'm shrinking. I probably lost a lot of weight just throughout the process of this video. All right. How am I gonna do this without spilling it?
Got scoop action.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Give me that bean. Oh no. There's bean everywhere. They're taking over.
I'm gonna try a freeze-dried chip. Tastes like a normal chip. Not much has changed.
Happy about that.
I like a powder, just break them up a little bit. Yeah. I mean, we could just pulverize all this and make like a taco smoothie.
Oh God. Hey Dean, idea.
Now, my favorite, the tomatoes are the easiest because look at that. Look at that. Are we putting the rice in there too?
Yeah.
All right.
Might as well.
Might as well, yeah.
Got that.
The only things that we have left are the meats, which we're gonna add after we shake this up.
Yeah.
So,
It's arm day.
take a look at that. Bada boom, bada binga. Okay, so we have a bit of a problem. We realized we don't have any half-gallon bags, which would have been perfect because these are going to be individualized portions. We have our 1 gallon bags and our 1 quart bags. We're going to go with the 1 gallon. We're going to go supersize me today. And so I guess everybody here is going to be eating a 1 gallon bag of taco today. So we're going to make some beef and some chicken. People will be able to choose what they want. Looks like we got enough for one more.
This can be our fat bag.
You can put these in jars. You can put it in vacuum seal bags. You can do a lot of things. It's gonna be just fine. Okay, so let's do the beef first. You know what we don't have enough of? Chips, because we didn't plan for shrinkflation. And we're not gonna mix the chips in with the bag, because then if you were to rehydrate it, the chips would get all soggy. So we're gonna keep the chips separate, but we're actually gonna put the chips in a separate little baggie inside here. But we're gonna put the cheese in here. So let's just sprinkle whatever cheese you got there evenly amongst these bags. And because I'm a cheese fiend, I'm putting more cheese in it.
I hate cheese.
All right, so we're just gonna pepper this in here. Okay, so we're pretty much done. All we have to do is kind of shake them up. So the only thing we really have left to do is put some chips in each one. So this is the end result. Because I'm not gonna eat all of mine, because I'm on a strict diet, I'm just gonna put some into a bowl. And we're gonna rehydrate just a little bit of it. So you can eat this right out of the bag. Now, some people say it's not a good idea to eat Mylar because it is plastic and it is microplastic. So if you're boiling stuff in there, I mean, if you're talking about the apocalypse and you got no dishes, who cares? So even if we were to rehydrate this after 25 years, it would maintain the texture. Okay, I just wanna give it a little moment there to
Get friendly with everyone.
Yeah, and let it soak all that water in. Okay, now my favorite part. The Doritos.
The chip.
All right. All right.
Moment of truth.
Oh, it's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. Cheers. You didn't even cheers. Savage.
It was already in my mouth.
I think it's good. I mean,
Oh, it's really good.
the texture is not 100, but you know,
Meh. Better than goo.
yeah. So next week, what are we doing?
Next week, we're doing granola.
Okay guys, so stay tuned for that. If you want to get this or any of the freeze-dried food, the Nutristore cheddar cheese, we got hundreds of different varieties at CanadianPreparedness.com. Go through the link in the description. Thanks for watching.
The best way to support this channel is to support yourself by gearing up at CanadianPreparedness.com, where you'll find high-quality survival gear at the best prices, no junk, and no gimmicks. Use discount code PREPPINGGEAR for 10% off. Don't forget, the strong survive, but the prepared thrive. Stay safe.